This is an answer for question number 1, Pre-Algebra B, Unit 8, Lesson 15 on the function graph worksheet. In this question, we're supposed to draw a graph using the information given in the problem, and the independent variable and the dependent variable is defined for us. So first we need to draw our graph. And in these problems, there are more than one way to draw these graphs, which is why there isn't a specific answer, because more than one way could be correct. And actually, I'm going to redo my graph here because I don't really need the negative values. So I'm going to redraw my graph so it's just that positive quadrant. There we go. The independent variable is your x-axis. Independent variable is always the x-axis. So I'm going to label that down here. That's the time. And the dependent variable is always your y. So that's distance. You can choose what you want your rates to be on each axis. I think there's some that are easier than others, but there's not really an exactly correct answer as long as the information lines up. Okay, so as long as the information is following what it says in the problem, if you've chosen to go by, for time, let's say 2 minutes rather than 1 minute, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and go by 1 minute. And I'm going to say it starts at 1 p.m., so that's going to be here. And I decided to go by 1 minute because it said that he rests for a minute between each lap. So it's kind of giving minute as a set standard here. So this would be 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, etc., 106, 07, 08. On the distance, I'm going to set the distance as laps because that's really the only distance they gave me. So 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps. And again, if you wanted to spread this out so it wasn't so tight, you could go a lap for every 2 graph lines, just to spread it out a little bit. Again, you have that flexibility. So assumingly he's running a lap in a minute and then he rests for a minute between each lap. So he starts running at 1. So by the end of 1 minute, he's run a lap. So at 1 minute, I have 1 lap. Okay. Then from 1 minute to 2 minutes, he's resting because he's resting for a minute between each lap. Then from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, he's running again. So by the end of 3 minutes, he's finished 2 laps. 3 minutes to 4 laps, 3 minutes to 4 minutes, he is resting. 4 minutes to 5 minutes, he's running that 3rd lap. And I can keep going. 5 minutes to 6 minutes, he's resting. 6 to 7, he runs that 4th lap. So at each minute, at the 1 minute, he's lined up at 1 lap. At 3 minutes, he's lined up at 2 laps. At 5 minutes, he's lined up at 3 laps, okay? So I chose to go every minute. Like I said, you could do every 2 minutes down here because the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the 7 minutes, those are kind of the important minutes when something is actually, your data is actually moving on the graph. So you could choose to go by a different rate if you wanted to. Thank you for watching this short video.